I don't know. Let's call out the elephant, y'all. I have a zit. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Now let's stop looking at it. Good morning, you guys. So if you are watching this on the YouTubes, do make sure that you click on the subscribe button. Boop. The subscribe button, and then also the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. If you are watching this somewhere else after the video, if you like what I'm talking about, if you don't, do not follow these directions. I will drive you nuts. If you like what I'm talking about, what you're going to do is go over to YouTube, click on the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when new videos come on. Reason being, a lot of videos come on every week, and they're not always these lives. There's a lot of extra videos, extra trainings, extra gold nuggets, know-hows, stuff like that. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Martha Krejci. I'm a business strategist. I know a lot about a lot. I know what doesn't work in building your online business. I also know what does work, okay? So that is pretty much the reason you watch me. Also, I can make dry material, dry businessy material, fun and laughable, accessible, and easy. So there's that, right? All right, let me go ahead and get this out of here. Good morning to you. Morning blessings. Good morning, folks. Good morning, Katie Lynn. I don't know why it is so hot in my house, you guys. I like put on a tank top and I am burning up. It is warm. Elle, good morning, Martha. Total boss, changing lives. Boom. April, good morning. James, good morning. Good morning to you. Today is Q&A. So let's go ahead and do some Q's and some A's. How's that sound? Really, you can ask me anything. So you can ask me about building a business. You can ask me about work-life balance. You can ask me about how to make choices between different things, of what is really good for you and what isn't, and how to know what's right, what's best. You can ask me about raising little budding entrepreneurs. You can ask me about how I eat. You can ask me whatever you want to ask me, right? Something that I'm going to be doing that you guys may or may not know about, I have no idea, is I'm going to be doing a training, a big training in my red carpet VIP group. Okay, it's a red carpet launch group. It's the launch group for my book. So my book comes out in September. You can buy it right now on pre-launch, which means that you'll get it before it actually hits the bookstores, right? In August-ish is what it's looking like. But the real kicker here is that the book is $25, so it costs than, you know, what a normal hardcover book would cost. The kicker here, you guys, is that from now, the sooner that you buy the book, the better. Because from when you buy the book, you can join my launch group. In my launch group, I'm doing monthly trainings. And my training that I'm doing the beginning of February is going to be on how I make my own mindset ironclad. And this is something anybody can do. This is coming from a girl who was broke, couldn't feed myself, could only feed my dog. I was an alcoholic with massive anxiety and panic attacks, could not function, could not speak in public. Excuse me, now I'm just burping on YouTube videos. Whatever, right? You guys, that's where I was at, and then this is where I've come, right? And a lot of that is God. A lot of that is God. You also have to match with that your mindset and the way that you're going to trust and the way that you're going to show up in your world. Okay, so that is, if I would have played a victim and been like, oh, woe is me, everything happens to me, why is my life so terrible, da-da-da-da-da, I would still be right there, or I wouldn't be there. Okay, we have to work within our mind. We have to be able to take responsibility for the way that we see things, because that's a choice. And so that's where I'm going to be going into my daily things that I do, and I still do them. I did them back then. They became muscle memory, and I still do them every single day. I do personal development every single day, and that's because it's necessary. Because even as you grow and you get bigger and you get bigger and you get bigger, even as that happens, you're still going to have issues. You're still going to have things arise. They're just bigger, quite frankly. So you need to be ready for them. If I had like the bigger issues that arise in my world now happened to me back then, I would have been like, oh my gosh, what is this all about? And just like hunkered and cowered in the corner, right? You have to develop your mind. And as you develop your mind, you're able to stand there at the ready for blessings to come. And then also for challenges to come, so you know how you're going to be able to handle them. Okay, so you can handle them. That anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying that training is going to be the beginning of February. Don't have a start date yet, or a date yet, but it's going to be in February in the launch group. So all you have to do is get the book. Let me put the book thing up so you know where to go to get it. Book pre-sale. There it is. MarthasBook.com. You guys, it's $25 plus shipping and handling, which is typically less than $5. Okay, just so you know. All right. I'll just leave that up for a little bit, just so people know. Also, in case you want to know what the actual book is about, I mean, it's about home-based revolution. It's about HBR. My signature program, my program that is like changing people's lives left and right. It's about that program. It's a high level look at that program. It's not like the meta, do this, do that. It's the high level look of the entire system. And then it's also stories of what has happened to people through it, what's happened to me, all of that stuff. So it's really, really good. It's proof. It's proof that this is doable. That's what it is, guys. It's proof. And sometimes, I would say most of the time, all that we need is to see proof. I just need to see proof that I can do this. This is your proof. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Let me go up to questions. Oh, Anastasia, excited to get that book. Anastasia, I'm excited to get the hawk painting. Anastasia is an artist, an amazing artist. And I believe I have a hawk painting en route to me right now. And those of you that know, I am a massive fan of hawks. I love birds altogether, but hawks are my jam. And so I have a painting coming my way. How would you lead a 16, almost 17-year-old in the right way to begin his own business? The same way I would lead anybody else. Let me actually move this up, but I won't make that so, yeah, I'm gonna cover up my face here. Whatever. The same way that I would lead anybody else. He may feel weird joining a group called, heart-centered and successful work-at-home moms, which the link is in the description of this video for. He may feel weird joining that group, but if he were to join that group, then he'd be able to start the 90-day side gig to main gig. He'd be able to start going through that stuff, okay? The first thing that always matters is who are you talking to? I have seen massive corporations stall and die because they didn't know who at first they were talking to. They didn't have their bat signal down. They had who bought their stuff, but they didn't have their bat signal down, okay? And their bat signal is who you should be talking to, not who bought your stuff at one point. Who should you be talking to? Who's going to carry your brand into the sunset? And the reason that they're going to carry your brand into the sunset is because they are you. Okay, I've seen massive corporations shrivel up because they hit a spike with one group, and then they weren't able to sustain the spike, and then because they weren't talking to their people, right? You see what I'm saying? And there's many corporations that have done that. So to start off right is to start off with your bat signal or with his bat signal. He shouldn't have yours, he should have his bat signal. So that would be the very first thing to focus on is who are his people? How does he want to help them, right? And so he's 16 or 17 years old, which is awesome. Awesome. I was on a podcast with a millennial yesterday, which I just love millennials anyway. I don't know that 16 to 17 is still millennial. I don't know how that stuff goes. I'm not a huge fan of labels, but younger people. I love younger people. Let's just say that. And they have a sense about them that they prefer service. They prefer feeling good about the way that they show up in their worlds. They prefer that to dollars. For the most part, they prefer it to dollars. I think it's actually an evolution of our spirit and of our soul that's happening. Is the kids that you know, like we're the people that are younger than, I'm 40, so people that are younger than me are coming in, and they're coming in with like this heart to serve, which is just whenever I talk to them, I'm like, don't lose that, right? Don't lose that. Don't believe anybody when they tell you you can't do that, right? Remember, I had a business coach, my very first business coach, told me I was too altruistic. Altruistic means that you give too much, right? And so then I had to let him go, because that's where we had to part ways. I couldn't be coached by somebody who thought I gave too much, because I wasn't going to stop. So we were going to have a real bad time, right? So anyway, all of that to say, 16 or 17, have him look at his bat signal. He's got a bat signal already. There's already something there. My daughter's 6. She's already got one. I can see it, you know, and maybe you as a mom would be able to see what he's got going on more than him. That's a thing. An outsider is typically able to see somebody else's stuff before they can see it themselves. So that's the very first thing. And then how are they going to serve? Those are the two really big things. And then the tactics of it, that's through my stuff, right? If you guys aren't aware, I did launch something yesterday. So you guys all know about HBR, Home-Based Revolution. It's where I teach you how to have multiple income streams, surround your family in it, have them all work together in service to your community. And it's how you build what we have now, right? I work about 5 to 10 hours a week. I'm still able to hang out with my family, still able to snuggle with my daughter, and all of the things, right? That's my life. That's what I love. That's my thing, okay? And I want it for everybody, because the way that I feel whenever I get to snuggle with my daughter and whenever I get to play with her and all of that, the way that makes me feel is almost in a spiritual way. It makes me feel whole. And I want that for everybody, because that doesn't just affect me. It can't just make me feel whole. I think it makes her feel whole too. And I want that for everyone. I think that we need that. I think as people, I think as humanity, I think that we need that. And so that's what I teach. That's what HBR is. Now, sometimes people are like, okay, well, I can't get into HBR. It's not very expensive, but sometimes people are like, well, I don't have that. And then they hold off and they save their money and then they join. Well, I've actually created a solution for that yesterday. And the solution that I created for that was the bridge to HBR. And so the bridge to HBR, it's $297, just so you know, really inexpensive. And the bridge to HBR, you guys, is I show you how to create one income stream, how to get it rolling, start making income from it. So with that income, you can join HBR and really just take off. Because HBR is all of the things. It's all of the media. It's the writing the book. It's all of the everything. You know, everything that you see me doing right now, you see me getting on a reality show, you see me getting the 4-book deal, all of that stuff, that's all coming from what I teach you in HBR. Okay? All of it. All the stuff that I teach you is stuff that I do. When you're in HBR, you can look at what I do and be like, oh, yeah, see what you're doing. See what you're doing there, right? And I never look like I'm being salesy and weird and by my stuff, you know? So that's HBR, but the bridge to HBR is going to get you into a place where you're able to start making income, so you don't have to go into debt to not only buy HBR, but you can be producing income already. And then you've got the groundwork already set up, and then you go into HBR and you just blast off. And the beautiful thing is this. This is the unexpected thing. I think a lot of people expect it to be extra money. Here's what it's not. Extra money. The way that I've set it up, you guys, because I love you and I want you to succeed, and I want this to be as easy as possible for you. The $297 that it costs to get into bridge to HBR, whenever you join HBR, that $297 is a credit toward the cost of HBR. So HBR doesn't cost any different. It's almost like you just bought HBR in the first. It's like you put HBR on layaway. And of course you don't have to join HBR if you don't want to. But the $297 works as a credit toward HBR. So it's not this and this, it's this, and then this gets taken off of this. Hi, I'm Martha. That's how I work. I just want you to win. I seriously just want you to win. Okay? And I'm going to create all of the ways, all of the avenues possible to be able to make it accessible to you, for you to take your first step to be able to win, period. That you're hearing my heart at this point. That's where I'm at. Okay. What other questions do we have? Where did that even come from? Where did all of that come from? Anyway, to be able to get Bridge to HBR, go into, I wish I had the link for it. I don't. So it's in the Heart Centered Moms group. Just search the link or search the term Bridge to HBR. If anybody asks for Bridge to HBR, just tag them in that if you're already in there. If you're not in the group, the link for the group is in the description of this video. Get into the group, search the term Bridge to HBR, and then you'll get the link and be able to jump into it. It begins on March 1st, okay? And it's 7 weeks long of live group coaching, 2 hours a week, 1 to 2 hours a week, okay? All right. Boom, pow. Cami, I know I need more mindset help, especially for imposter syndrome. It's okay. That's all right. Everybody has that. No sweat. No sweat at all. James, how much of my ULA should I give in my lead group? You should, let me get this over here. Well, you give little bits of it. It's really, in the lead group, what you're doing is you're sharing why, you're illuminating why it's necessary, and then you're helping solve one issue, one problem. So you don't get the whole thing, but you help solve one issue, one problem, move the needle, so they know that you can help them move the needle. That's the entire point of it. Martina, question. I am going live consistently in my business page in YouTube. Should I be doing that same live in my lead group as well? I do. I share it via Ecamm. So I'm on Ecamm via Restream. Restream is what actually streams it out to the different channels, or broadcasts it, I guess, out to the different channels. But I do, yeah, because not everybody in your lead group is on your personal page and that sort of thing, so they're not going to see it. And whenever we do lives like this, people are able to see who we are, they're able to see our hearts, and they're able to see what we know, quite frankly. So, yeah, I would 100% do it. Hawks are my jam too. They're always coming to see me. I love them. I literally have hawks that fly by my car. Like, I'll be driving and they'll be flying, first of all, down low, which is weird, but they'll be flying like down next to my car, or I'm driving down the street and they're like on every light post. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing this, I guess. Let's see here. Oh yes, we're meant to connect heart to heart, 100%. Sasha, I feel the same way about my daughter. She's 3 and I don't want to lose focus of her trying to build a business, but I want to succeed for her too. That's what I've done it, Sasha. I've done it. I did it for her. I did it for my people, and I did it for her. It's okay to have 2 focuses, and for one of them to be our kids and our family, right? I did it for her and I did it for my people, and I kept that balance the entire way. So now I have my balance of being able to color a Golden Girls coloring book with her, or like, I have my balance, and it's because I choose my balance. It's because I don't let other people choose things for me. I make the choice. And if something else is going to get in the way of that, I have to very carefully determine, is that okay? And a lot of times it's not. It's not okay. Not a long situation anyway. Okay, well, we are almost at 20 minutes. I have to get out of here. Love you guys. Bye-bye.